Those grandstands now 114 feet high. That's like an 11-story tall building as they keep adding and adding more seats here at Dover Downs. So we're set to go racing. We'll kick back and enjoy the Sunday with us.
You ready? You ready? Ready. Green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag.
That he has managed to get to the point.
But that's the first time he's led here at Dover since they concreted this place. He was doing ever so well, leading race after race. They put the concrete down. He hasn't led until just now.
And the 5 points that he gets for leading a lap, that's very important. Near the end of the year, that can add up to hundreds of points for guys that lead nearly every race.
Jeff Gordon trying to push him through the corner, it seems.
Gordon searching up and down this early in the race.
Already the tail end of the field is only about a half lap from being lapped.
Here comes Jeff Gordon on the inside. Rusty shuts the door on him going down into turn 1.
Remember, buddy, you showed the folks in the pre-race show how you make these passes. Here is the classic example again.
There it is. You see him make the low line there work. Here comes Mark Martin along. Rusty Wallace dropping back through the field right now. They got position on the inside. The preferred line right now, the quickest line, is the bottom of the racetrack.
So Jeff Gordon for the 7th straight Dover race is leading. And look at Rusty Wallace going backwards.
Gordon's driving a car they call Butthead today. That has won. That's the name of it. It's right on the dashboard. He's won 2 out of his 3 Winston Cup point races this year in that car.
Interesting. Again, a report of a loose race car.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
That young man there has been flagging races from his grandstand seat for years. He started, it was just a little tight.
Eli, everybody watched TV from their trucks yesterday and heard us talking about the push that everybody was having. I think some of the guys may have started this race a little bit on the loose side because of that.
Already 1 3/10 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Gordon, though. So that tells you the pace that Jeff is setting here in the early stages of the MBNA Platinum 400. There's 0.6 of a second. That's what it looks like here at Dover Downs from Mark Martin's car in second. Looking forward to Jeff Gordon. 148 miles an hour plus for Gordon. On our computers, he is the only driver running 148 or better. Not even counting the guys who are in traffic, but all of these fellows here who are running by their lonesome. No one turning the speed that Gordon did in the last handful of laps. Used to be the ultimate track record holder here at the Monster Mile back in the days of his old enclosed wheel modified. That's gone away. And when the Indy Racing League comes here in just a few weeks, all the speed records will be going bye-bye. We're going bye-bye as well for just a moment. But everybody's on pit road for service. Lap 34. Let's go to pit road.
Let's check in now with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, speed down at the far end of pit road. Jeff Gordon is in, a 4-tire change. Rusty Wallace is also in. Gordon is out. He's away first.
That thing's buried in the grass just coming off turn 2. And if you want to make a wager with those who are watching the race as to how long it's going to stay, have at it.
Jeff Gordon to second. Can Buckshot cover the spot? No. Jarrett goes by. Mark Martin in the 6 goes by. Rusty Wallace goes by. And Buckshot's going bye-bye the other way.
Yeah, so is Jeff Gordon right into the lead. Bam.
He is the new leader again. Jeff Gordon. He led laps 4 through 34 and takes over the lead again at lap number 40. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, guys, just to update you on what went on pit road down here, Ray Evernham and the crew did not change anything on Jeff Gordon's car. They said they wanted to look a little further at tire wear, so they'd wait a little bit.
Jeff Gordon has just come to the stripe. He is the leader at lap number 50. So if you're going to participate in that TNN, take home a piece of the action sweepstakes, you want to write down on your entry that it was Mark Martin leading at lap number 50 of the MBNA, excuse me, Jeff Gordon, I should say, leading at lap number 50 of the MBNA Platinum 400. And there you see the spread up front, left of your screen, Jeff Gordon. Dale Jarrett is not the next car in line. That's Ward Burton a lap down. There's Dale. There's Mark Martin. It's 1 1/10 seconds from the leader back to Jarrett. 1 6/10 from the leader back to Mark Martin. Then 2.9 seconds from Batman Gordon all the way back to Rusty Wallace, who's running fourth. From overhead, the Duralube aerial camera shots for you here today, and that's Jeff Gordon, who has led the majority of the laps thus far. He is 1 3/10 seconds behind second place. That's not second place. That's Dave Marcus. He's gone a lap down. There's your second place man, Mark Martin. 1 2/10 seconds now behind Gordon. There's Dale Jarrett, the 88 car. He's winning in third.
Eli, these guys have got to go just a half a straightaway back. Jeff Gordon's coming, trying to put these guys down.
And you pull on back, Rich Bickle, and there's the leader. So we've taken you all the way around on the Duralube camera. You know exactly where everybody's running, and Rich Bickle about to go a lap down in 33rd spot. And, you know, Glenn, I don't know if you talked to Ray Evernham at the hotel, saw him this morning. We said, all right, how you guys going to be doing? Well, I don't know how good we are. He was bad-mouthing before we even left the hotel at 6:15 this morning.
Oh, you're exactly right, Eli. And I talked to him in the garage area this morning. I got the same reaction. I don't really know. And he moped around a little bit and wouldn't really tell me anything. And I said, in other words, Ray, you guys are real, real good today. He just laughed and said, well, we'll see. They are. One of their concerns is, though, that they're starting to race on stickers. That's about all they had back there were new tires. But they went and got a set of scuffs from Randy LeJoy. They think the scuff may be the way to go. The air pressure seems to be fluctuating a little bit on the sticker tires when they put them on. So they're looking for scuffs right now. They got one set from LeJoy. They have one set left from practice. I imagine they'll be looking for more.
Eli, the real problem right now, Jeff Gordon just looked in the mirror. Mark Martin is on a run right now. You see he is closing down on Jeff Gordon. He's got it down to about a 10-car length lead. And a while ago, Gordon was a good half a straightaway ahead.
Right, it's only 0.6 of a second. Going wide around Jeff Bodine, putting the Phillips car a lap down. That's 32nd spot being lapped right there.
Blew by him on the outside. Mark Martin's doing the same thing.
We are live at Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware. 76 laps of 400 complete. Jeff Gordon leads. We are live at Dover Downs International Speedway. We talk about the straight line for Kenny Wallace. We've got all the straight liners for you coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight. The Fram Route 66 Nationals. Bob Fry, Steve Evans, the whole crew standing by, and they've got live coverage of that inaugural event near Chicago. Check it out later today, 6 o'clock Eastern time. NHRA Winston Drag Racing right here on TNN Motorsports.
Jeff Gordon knifing through some very, very good race cars right now. The 4-car there, Bobby Hamilton going a lap down. Sterling Marlin in the 40 right now, looking in the mirror. He sees nothing but Jeff Gordon in the mirror, and just behind him, Mark Martin.
Yeah, and guess who's just ahead of that number 40 car? It's the Intimidator, Earnhardt.
Dale's running 26th. 27th just goes a lap down, and you saw right there Earnhardt taking a much wider line in the corner.
Yeah, right now Gordon's so much quicker than Earnhardt. You see Earnhardt's car going way up the racetrack. Gordon holding the middle part of the racetrack. As they start off, he can hold the lower line. But I'll tell you one thing, he just moves over and lets Gordon go by on the outside. He realizes he has a much quicker car right now. I was going to say that Earnhardt would probably fight him, but he did not. He got over and let him go.
Saw this morning was on the 28 car of Kenny Irwin. There's Jeff Gordon, the leader, about to put Kenny Schrader a lap down. Pit stops, lap 102 because of the caution for debris.
Eli, if you want to know who's a lap down, they're still on the racetrack. All these cars are on the lead lap.
Glenn Jarrett.
And here they come. They're waiting upon Gordon and Mark Martin. They're pitted right together. Rusty Wallace on in front of them. Gordon's out. Remember, his car was getting just a little bit loose, so they're going to take this opportunity maybe to tighten him up, snug him up just a little bit. 4-tire change of fuel for both cars. Now, this time, they ran 65 laps under green, so they got a little better read off of what the cars will do on a longer run. Gordon is down and away. Great pit stop for Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin down. Again, he and Dale Jarrett side by side going out for second and third.
But Glenn, Jeff Gordon's back at the head of the class.
Yes, he is, Eli. And as I told you while they made the pit stop, his car was just a little bit loose, so they made a half-pound air pressure adjustment on it.
The team wanted to say get well as we go green to David Boland. He's better known as Wolfie. He's been with the team for 25 years. He's been in a Richmond hospital. He's had an irregular heartbeat, and they're hoping to see him next week in Richmond, the hometown of the 90 race team.
Boy, to see him all get stacked up. Late speed never came up to speed. That is he on the right there, inside groove, nearly stacked up the world behind him.
That could have been a very bad situation, and an awful lot of race drivers showed great patience and great judgment in getting around Lake Speed. It was 3 wide back there.
Jeff Gordon has Mike Skinner ahead of him now on the tail end of the lead lap. So the leader is 24. The 31, Mike Skinner, running in 20th. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. And you're riding with second place, Mark Martin.
It'll be interesting to see if Skinner can stay on the lead lap. Doesn't look it.
Nope. Jeff Gordon goes to the very bottom of the racetrack. Mark Martin just behind him. Skinner goes down.
Gordon is so tough today, but he has been so tough at this racetrack for quite a while. He has led the last 6 Dovers in a row. Coming into today, he had led over 1,000 laps of 3,000. Led more than a third of the laps that have been run here in the last 6 races, and he's just padding that right now.
Jeff Gordon leads. Ray Evernham likes the view, but he also knows we're not even to halfway at the Monster Mile.
Gordon's showing a lot of muscle again. He
So what
is
else is
so
there?
tough. Yeah, I know. But you know, you got to hand it to this team. Every week, race after race after race, they are a story.
But I believe Mark's going to start to rumble right here.
Yep.
I think Mark's about ready to check him out for tough right now. He's looking him over. He's dead behind him right now in his tire track, looking for a weakness right now. The one weakness that got him by last year was Jeff Gordon could not stay on the bottom part of the racetrack in the center part of the corner. See Mark Martin a little bit lower, but he didn't gain the ground like he did last year getting in the corner.
You realize that in the 1990s, in this decade, only Dale Earnhardt has amassed more points than has Mark Martin.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Do you realize that in 1998, no professional race driver anywhere in the world has won as much as this man in the number 6? He has won 6 times, and now he's got the lead here at Dover.
So Mark Martin makes the move. You see NASCAR timing and scoring across the top of the screen, brought to you by MCI. 10, 3, 2, 1. Just dial it up and save 50%. Mark Martin is the race leader.
Here comes Jeff
For the
Gordon
moment.
back on the bottom side. You can see the 6 car, the lead car, push out in the center part of the corner there. Jeff Gordon taking advantage of it, turning to the bottom and going right by.
Yeah, DJ's no slouch either. He's right back there, too.
That's the same passing we were talking about on our pre-race show back around 11:45 this morning. There you see the battle for the lead one more time as Mark Martin tries to grab it right back from Jeff Gordon.
Jeff gives him room. Here comes Mark, side by side, coming off the corner.
Yeah, for how long?
Well, at least to the stripe this time, the lead will swap around at lap 128. Glenn Jarrett, how uncomfortable was Earnhardt before? It looked to me, as he said on our pre-race coverage, he didn't have a good night. He really looked kind of out of sorts.
Eli, you're exactly right.
Nothing to explain about that guy. He's 0.3 of a second ahead of the man in second spot, Mark Martin. There you see Mark in your screen. Dale Jarrett runs third. He is 2 9/10 seconds further back. There is Jeff Gordon, still leading by car lengths over Mark Martin. We're at lap 154. And there's the tape room. Now the 24 is the race leader. Darrell's already a couple of laps down in the 1 car, but he don't want to go another lap down. He's going to work as hard as he can, but at the same time, not hold up the race leader.
Earnhardt's fighting back on the outside there. Jeff Gordon got into him just a little bit. There was light contact between he and Earnhardt as Jeff Gordon gets by finally there. But boy, I tell you, he fought back trying to keep that lap.
And he's not going to hand it to Mark Martin either. You see him duck right in front of Martin, but Earnhardt just can't keep it down in the corners, and Martin's on by.
Good battle for the lead, and that's really the best anybody's been able to hang with Jeff Gordon all day. Jeff has led much of the afternoon. If you're just joining us, Rusty Wallace led the first 3 laps, Gordon the next 30. Jeff Burton led 4 laps, Gordon the next 60. Spencer led a lap, Gordon the next 16. Mark Martin led a lap, then Gordon for 6, then Martin for 1. And now a grand total of 151 laps that Gordon has led of the 165 that we have run. 151 of 165.
That is absolutely incredible, and you can see why. The car has absolutely no ill effects in the corner. It goes exactly where he wants to. And communication, we were talking about that with Hut Strickland and guys. That communication between Ray Evernham and Jeff Gordon is like brothers anymore. They work so closely every race time that it works.
And you can see how well they're running from the Duralube camera overhead in our helicopter. I mean, they're just, they're not missing a beat. If there has to be something done, they can communicate so well, but probably haven't had to say a word all day.
Just as I said that, Jeff Gordon's car almost went up in the first set of bleachers there in the corner. The car went very, very high. I think he got in the corner a little bit hard and slid up. The lower part of the racetrack, everybody else having to go high. Good race cars are running low right now.
Oh, Jeff Gordon still has not gotten around Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah, isn't Darrell doing a great job? I mean, he did this in Charlotte, too, just hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. The leader can't get by him. It's fun to watch Darrell Waltrip race hard again. It really is.
You guys, I made a comment last week. If you think he's over the hill, it's a nice hill to be over because he knows how to still drive a race car.
Yes, he does. And this has been a good ride for him. Not qualifying all that well, but once he gets into the race and they get the car sorted out, he gets it adjusted to suit him, he's as fast as anybody.
So working race traffic is the race leader, Jeff Gordon. Still can't get around Darrell Waltrip. He's got the 18th place runner Kenny Irwin ahead of him. There's the spread for the lead. Don't want to forget about those guys. 0.4 of a second there as we close in on pit stops shortly. Who's hot? Jeff Gordon is. He grabs the lead from Rusty Wallace at lap 4. He does the same from Jeff Burton at lap 40. And the same from Mark Martin at lap 121. Jeff Burton's the man everybody's been chasing. And they still are. We welcome you back live to the Monster Mile. Pit stops are underway. Rusty Wallace has been in. Lake Speed is in now for his service. We're at lap 189, closing in on stops for all of the race leaders. Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Dick Bergman, Glenn Jarrett, Matt Yoakum, Steve Burns with you here on TNN Motorsports.
One thing to keep your eye on, entrance to pit road has been very, very...
Trouble on the race. All right, the leaders, as you see, are on the right. They're on pit road. Those cars are lap down. Stay on the racetrack. Let's cover these pit stops.
Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin already both down and away. Great pit stop by Gordon. Again, kept him out front. Mark Martin got out second. Dale Jarrett third. These tires went about 95, almost 100 laps. So we're going to take a look, particularly at the right front. Now, I was standing down here in Rusty Wallace's pit when David Green hit the wall. The right front tire exploded as he went into the corner. So the tire did blow before he got into the wall. He was probably due a pit stop. It's too early to speculate whether he stretched it too far or not. Maybe he ran over and cut something, but the tire did blow before he hit the wall.
So that's the update there. We just had a driver change, it seemed like, as we look down towards the Ted Musgrave pit area. Ted burned his foot. Actually now the halfway point is upon us as the field comes to the stripe. Still under caution, and they are getting the crossed flags now. So halfway home in the MBNA Platinum 400. Leaders still Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin second. I missed a shift on that, guys. That's all right. It happens. Glenn Jarrett's down there near the leaders' pits.
Yeah, guys, I told you I was going to check on the tire wear. That was the longest run they'd had. Everybody was concerned down here, and I'm happy to report that on the 3 leaders cars, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and Dale Jarrett, the tires that they took off after 100 laps of green flag racing looked absolutely perfect. Particularly Martin and Jarrett were a little bit concerned because their cars were a little bit tight, and they were afraid of the right front. Nobody had a problem. I talked to one of the Goodyear tire engineers. He said he had seen that all day. They didn't expect any problems. As far as David Green's problem, he said that he probably wore it through, that David was running a much higher groove than the other cars were running up in the middle and upper part of the racetrack through the corners. It's much more abrasive up there. Therefore, it just simply wore the tire through.
And the green is in the air. Lap 203, the leader, Jeff Gordon. Joe Nemechek trying to get one of his 3 laps down. Trying to get one of those back. Rusty Wallace also up the front. So a little bump right there.
Rusty Wallace fighting very hard to make up one of the 2 laps he's down. He did get by Gordon. They made a little contact getting into turn 3. But right now, he's only 1 lap down.
Won almost a full 2. He is on the tail end of 1 lap down. From the crossover bridge across the back stretch.
Look at Gordon just close right in on them, though. He is so strong this afternoon.
Up front, still tight. And here can Rusty stay on the tail of the Oh, boy.
2 wheels below the concrete.
If he can make it handle down there on the flat card, he can get by Rusty. But right now, Rusty's losing a lot of racetrack. It's important to make these laps up, but he lost because he hit it too early.
Again, Rusty is on the tail end of 1 lap down, so if Gordon passes him, he'd be 2 laps down.
Now started 36 and battled his way towards the front.
And Rusty goes another lap down, so Wallace again 2 laps down as Gordon gets by him. Since the halfway portion of this race goes under caution, the Gatorade Front Runner Award, the $10,000 for leading it halfway, is given out after the 5th completed green flag lap. That's right now. So $10,000 more for Jeff Gordon. Watch this. Last lap.
Honk, honk. No horns on these things. That's how you get their attention.
But it's gutsy to do when you've clearly got the best car on the racetrack.
Well, gutsy to do to put 2 wheels underneath the concrete as well. He is driving quite an aggressive race, given the advantage he seems to have in his race car.
Jeff Gordon still leads. There you see the spread. About 5 car lengths over Mark Martin. Dale Jarrett runs 3rd.
21 for many a year up here. I chased it so long, I
Look
didn't
at
know.
that for the lead. Mark Martin says, I'm tired of seeing the back of that car. And Mark Martin will take the lead here at Dover at lap number 227 when he comes to the stripe.
You know something, you're seeing just the front end of Dale Jarrett. He's also moving up. You would just wonder if maybe, oh, goodness gracious, they got into each other just a little bit. Gordon got into the back of the 6th there, Martin. But you see Dale Jarrett is caught them both there.
Every time Mark Martin takes the lead, it's for 1 lap. Now what can Jarrett do here? Martin took the lead at 120, lost at 121, took it at 128, lost it at 129, and there goes 2nd place away. How about that?
Dale Jarrett is definitely on a mission. I've been watching him for the last 4 or 5 laps. Seems to be the quickest car on the racetrack. As he closes in on Gordon now, only about 5, 6 car lengths back.
That car you just saw on the right of your screen is the 99 of Jeff Burton. See him there at the top of the screen.
Let's watch this as they go down in the corner, Eli.
This is from earlier.
Just a little nudge there in the center part of the corner. Mark Martin goes up the racetrack. Gordon was able to turn left and get under him there in the center part of the corner.
Now by 0.6 of a second, that's the lead.
Eli, we're going back and forth. I'm looking at the computer now, and just this past last lap, Mark Martin was the quickest car. So these guys are all running very, very close to each other right now. The guy gets around the racetrack clean without any lap traffic or anything. May have a little quicker lap, 1 lap, but consistently the first 4 cars are very, very evenly matched.
Meanwhile, look at this up front. Dale Jarrett Trying to wrestle the lead away from Jeff Gordon.
I think Glenn was being very, very nice a while ago, not to talk about his brother, but his brother, as you can very well see, is a quick car, able to stay on the bottom part of the racetrack as he tries to pull up on Gordon coming off turn 4. Jeff Burton makes it a threesome now. There goes Jarrett up high. Burton under the inside trying to take second place away.
Give a guy just the least little opening. It's going to be all over.
Burton's got his hands full now. He's really got some competition breathing down his neck with this deal. Jarrett's very fast. Burton's right behind him. All running pretty much the same line.
Yeah, pretty much so. They'll have to work here just a bit to get around Dave Marcus in that white number 71.
Eli, that's exactly what we were talking about. We're looking at the computer, and you see one lap, a guy getting behind another car, has a slower lap. The next lap, somebody will get a good clean lap. He'll run the quickest. All three of these cars are very capable of winning this race.
From the Duraloop camera, we see Jeff Gordon finally getting by Dave Marcus. One of the toughest men in this industry to pass is Dave Marcus.
I don't know. Here comes Marcus fighting back on the outside. He tries every lap.
God bless him. Sometimes he'll just ride around, but when you get up on his tail trying to put him a lap down, he'll race you for 25 miles.
I called him 5-lap Marcus when I run with him. I figured it'd take me 5 laps if I was lucky to get by him.
Dale Jarrett gets by cleanly, and that separates second and third spot. And now Dave will give room right there. One thing, he is a considerate veteran, and he'll say, I know I'm not going to battle right here, and he gives room.
Yeah, you're the lead car. He's got to fight for his position soon. Once the lead car got by, he moved over.
Dave Marcus is in 28th right now. He's 3 laps down to the race leaders. Jeff Gordon right there, Jarrett and Jeff Burton. Limits. I mean, he had a great day out on the water. He's bragging more about that than anything else in the garage. Going by Robert Presley in the 77. They've caught Randy LaJoy, who's subbing for Ted Musgrave now in the 16. Not been a good day for the Roush teams, has it?
Not at all. The reason Ted Musgrave got out, you see the damage on the right side of that 16 car there. That was from an accident early.
With Randy LaJoy behind the wheel in 22nd. So a mixed bag. 2 good, 3 not so good for Roush.
Yeah, and that, you know, you talk about the big family of racing. You see a Chevrolet driver run over and jump into a Ford to help a guy that's too hot in the race car. That's what we're all about.
Why don't we break away and take care of a little business here with Jeff Gordon leading. The King is looking on. Leads here at Dover, but coming up next Saturday, you'll be seeing something for the first time on TNN. The Pep Boys Indy Racing League. That's right, the IRL cars here on TNN. High speeds on the high banks of Texas. The True Value 500K. Check it out next Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on TNN Motorsports. Eli Gold with Dick Berggren, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, Matt Yoakum, Steve Burns. Glad you're with us here at Dover Downs. Jeff Gordon hasn't had carte blanche today, but darn close to it. He has been far and away the dominant car. You saw Kenny Irwin make a pit stop moments ago. He was in a lap 258. And as we wait and wait, you'll see the leader coming by, putting a lap on Chad Little, who comes off pit road, and back around to Jeff Gordon, whose lead is now 7/10 of a second on Dale Jarrett. So that tells you where everybody is. There are the numbers that are important to you. Out of the events right now are Johnny Benson, Randy LaJoy's 50 car, Kyle Petty and David Green. The race has been slowed 5 times by caution for a total of 33 laps of yellow. We're live on TNN Motorsports, the MBNA Platinum 400. You're all caught up to speed. Continues to dominate. I mean, he has led already 266 of the 280 laps on the board. I mean, the man has just worn them out. Last fall, remember, Mark Martin ran well and led 194 laps, and he said, what a great job. And those numbers have been left away. Here's Michael Waltrip.
Eli, we were talking about the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Look at his number, though. Even the run into somebody today 2 or 3 times. He has a mark on both sides, right on the 24, the number itself, where there's a little rubbing when you're racing close like you do here at Dover.
3,400 watch it.
The 24, Jeff Gordon is in. That will cycle the lead back on around.
Bobby Labonte, Jeremy Mayfield making his way on the pit road also.
Let's go up pit road to Glen Jarrett.
Okay, Matt, same thing down here. They're being very careful to try to get all the fuel in the 24 car. 4 tires, he is down and away. 17.2, a good pit stop, a great pit stop under the green. These guys have been flawless on the racetrack and the pits all day long.
So from lap 228 to 294, Jeff Gordon is the leader. Jeff Gordon will reassume the lead here at lap 298. So again, Gordon led, then Burton for 2 laps. Ricky Rudd led a lap, and now back to the Rainbow Warriors. Jeff Gordon now the leader again, as we told you before we broke away, having recycled around, and you see the lead now is 2 6/10 seconds over Jeff Burton. Those are the fellows who did the very best right there moments ago.
And what a surprise. The Rainbow Warriors once again right at the head of the list with a stop of just over 17 seconds. Those guys are incredible on pit road. They just never make a mistake, and they're always fast.
105 miles from the finish.
What do you think? Can he make it?
Well, we saw 104 here last year, didn't we, with Mark Martin?
Yeah, and that's what won the race for Mark Martin. He was able to get more mileage out of his race car than Kyle Petty, but as a result, he wound up taking home the checkered flag.
Glenn, what are you hearing? Is Ray thinking he's in his window to go?
No, Eli, he told me definitely a while ago, but I didn't even get the question out. He shook his head, said, I cannot make it. The same thing for Mark Martin's pits and obviously Rusty Wallace. Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd in the 88 car say that they can make it. So here's that.
The benefits of team, multi-car team ownership. Jack Ross called down and said, look, I know the 99 car is too tight. Frank Stoddard, try this setup. He tried it with Mark Martin's car. They dropped a pound on the left side tires to try to help the car cut in the corners and help Mark earlier in the race. Jeff Burton says the car is already feeling better.
Well, interesting. He's running in second, Burton is. There's the leader from the Duraloop camera. High overhead, the Monster Mile in our helicopter. 2 4/10 back is Jeff Burton running in second. Then you got the wild card of Bobby Labonte still. He got indications there. He might be able to stretch it from 295 to the finish. This all is contingent on no cautions.
One of the things to consider when we're looking at whether they can make it on mileage or not is how the car is going to perform after that round of pit stops. If the car is pushing, it's going to eat up more gas, but if the car is not doing that. So hard to tell right now, but there are some guys who might be able to make it on gas, and we might have it under caution flag, which would throw all of the speculation right out the window.
So right now, everybody's settling in after the pit stops. Jeff Gordon leads. A dozen teams trying to work on the lead lap late at Dover. Still Jeff Gordon. He's now got 2 7/10 seconds on the second place man, Jeff Burton. And watch it from the entrance to the back stretch there. We'll take you back 2 7/10 seconds waiting for the 99 car. And there he is. And there is Gordon now making his way towards the back straightaway. So the spread from first to the last car in the lead lap, Ricky Rudd, who was in 8th, 19 7/10 of a second. Then you've got John Andretti 9th, Buckshot Jones 10th, Bill Elliott 11th, Darrell Waltrip 12th, Ernie Irvin 13th, Terry Labonte 14th, and Bobby Hamilton rounds out the top 15 in the Kodak machine.
Wow, a lot of these cars are starting to pick up hot dog wrappers and stuff. Jeff Gordon has a big piece of paper on the right front corner of his valence there that gives the air to the radiator. You can see it just on the side there. That could be a problem. I don't think it will be, though. He's got a lot of opening there to get fresh air in.
MCI bringing you NASCAR timing and scoring. 10-3-2-1. Just dial it and save up to 50%. Probably a silly question, but I've asked my share over the years, so watch one more, buddy. Would you rather be in a tight battle to keep you really alert, or Would you rather be out by 3.5, 4 seconds, but not have any competition, blow by everybody, and can that lull you to safety and to sleep?
Eli, let me answer that question real easy for you. Would you rather drive in the country or would you rather ride downtown in traffic?
I'd rather drive in the country.
You got it.
Yep.
Anytime you're out there, you're picking your line. You're not having to deal with somebody running up under you, making it tough. You're looking in the mirror wondering if he's going to try to pass you. It's nerve-wracking, even when you have a great car like Jeff Gordon. Right now, he's running perfect line around the racetrack.
Of course, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. What if I had said I like driving in the city? Then what would you have done?
Well, that would have verified. Well, never mind.
Jeff Gordon is the leader, about to go around Mr. Earnhardt. Dale's already 5 laps down. Ray Evernham, Jeff Gordon's crew chief's got to love what he sees. Of course, Jeff Gordon has been the dominant driver today, leading well over 310 of the 335 laps thus far.
Well, as they say, why should today be any different than any other day? You know, if you look at the concrete history of Jeff Gordon, it's just absolutely amazing. 2 poles, 3 wins, and he'd have had a whole lot more if things had gone his way. This race last year, remember, he was a contender until he ran into the back of Dale Jarrett in a multi-car incident, pulled his radiator, and then last fall he was a contender until he got caught in the pits on a yellow flag and just couldn't make it up again. So he might have had 5 by now on the concrete.
We're nearing the finish. As you see, 53 laps to go. Who can make it on fuel and who can't? We're back at Dover Downs International Speedway. There's the leader. We have had a change in second spot, though, as we look from overhead on the Duraloop camera. Dale Jarrett having taken over the second spot moments ago from Jeff Burton, but they're still a goodly distance back behind the race leader. You see 4 and 5 seconds back, respectively, for Jarrett and Burton. Burton now 5 1/10 back. Joe Nemechek, 42 car. He's 6 laps down there.
That was Ray Evernham saying, Jeff, don't worry about the 42. Let him go. There's no reason to race him. Let him get his lap back.
Let's go to Glenn.
Well, meanwhile, down in the Gordon pit, Ray Evernham told Jeff just to take it easy. He pulled over and let Joe Nemechek by on the racetrack to try to get a little wind off of him. You guys talked about that. No use racing him hard. But Ray told him that he should come in around lap 380. I'm telling you guys, I don't believe it.
Well, it's going to be interesting. We certainly have seen at this track in particular, we've seen a lot of guys fib a bit. You're looking at Burton having to go 103 miles, Gordon 105. I mean, oh my goodness, right there.
Right in front of the leader.
Nemechek and the 31 Skinner directly in front of the leader.
Look at the right front corner there. There's a pretty good gash there in the 42 car where he got up in the Skinner there with the right front corner.
Think Gordon's heart skipped a beat right there?
Yeah, watch this again. See how close it was to Jeff Gordon.
I was looking straight at it. What? Bang! Right into the left rear of Skinner there. That could have been ugly.
John Andretti is pitting. He's in 9th, a lap down. I mean, let's face it, guys. After the May 16th running of the Winston, you've got to believe that Ray Evernham knows his fuel mileage down to the nth degree. I mean, they're not going to take a chance.
I don't know.
He knows either he can make it or he can't. There's no ifs or questions in his mind. I can't believe.
I'm sure he knows that, but the question is whether he really would take a chance on one of the races.
Well, just a week later, he made the right decision on 4 tires that won him the race. He is a gambler. Yeah. He's also a very, very smart crew chief. So if he thinks he can make it, they won't come in. But if I don't know. I just don't. I'm not sure about it.
Now, Glenn, the other guy in the mix there, you got Jeremy Mayfield going a lap down in 6th spot right there. The 12 just going a lap down. So only the front 5 on the lead lap.
Exactly. He's in 18th spot, as you said, Eli. And right now, what he's doing is not taking a chance of losing any more points than he already has by making that bad pit stop too early a while ago and getting caught in the pit.
Around Brett Bodine goes the race leader. Brett's having a good run. He's in 15th today. You know, Brett at this time a year ago, the 11 car, at this time a year ago, he was 29th in points.
You're very well today.
Good job for Brett. He's in 15th right now. Jeff Gordon leads. Dale Jarrett is second, 2 2/10 seconds behind. Jeff Burton is third, 7.5 seconds behind the leader. Mark Martin running fourth. He is 14 seconds back. And the last guy on the lead lap is Bobby Labonte, running in fifth. And here comes the whole field. And actually, Bobby went a lap down moments ago. I correct myself. So there's 4 cars on the lead lap right now. Not likely that Gordon's going to lap everybody, but we have seen that happen here at Dover back in 1991. Harry Gant lapped everybody once and all the way up to 4th place a second time. That was back here in 1991.
Well, if he could put a lap on everybody, now's the time to do it, because he has reported that they don't think they can make the distance on fuel. So that would make the cushion for some of the guys who are going to try to stretch it all the way.
Well, that's the whole key now. It's a question of circumstance. We've definitely had a demonstration as to which is the strongest car in the field by far, and it's obviously that number 24. If things will go his way from here forward in terms of circumstance, it ought to be his. But what's going to happen with fuel? What's going to happen with caution flags? What's going to happen with pit stops?
Plus, a lot of guys are so loose right now. I'm just looking out over the window here. There are a lot of guys about spinning out every time through the corners. We're still not away from a potential of a caution. Ward Burton had a scare last time by, and he's going to come on in. He about looped his MBNA Platinum car, and he's going to come in right here. He said, that was enough. He said, I about put myself in the 360. There's Gordon again. He had to go 105 miles, Dick.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Ray Evernham says, no, we have to stop. Erstwhile Glenn Jarrett says, I don't believe him for a second.
Well, remember California, he had to come in by himself at the end of the race.
Just going by the 16, Ted Musgrave's car with Randy LaJoy at the wheel. Randy was involved in that accident early at lap 10 in the Budweiser Chevy, and now he's subbing for Musgrave.
Of course, you know, another factor here is we're starting to think about, thinking a lot about gas mileage is the more horsepower a car generates, the more gas it's going to consume. And that number 24 is coming out of the corners today with an incredible demonstration of horsepower, and that will surely eat the fuel.
Again, Ward Burton having just made a pit stop. That's why with fresh rubber he's able to blow by, and Gordon wasn't going to contest it anyway.
That tells you what new tires will do. But as you see, Ward Burton got in there very hot and went high on the racetrack.
There's second place right there. 2 and 10 seconds back, 2.5 seconds. And we'll widen back for the distance again from first. Right there, back 2 seconds. Bill Elliott is in. He's running 10th. Bill could not go past lap 384, so he's in for a splash only. A splash of 76 fuel. No tires on the McDonald's team. They've already made their stop. They were in for like 3 seconds, a splash and go.
I imagine the pit crews are looking back and forth right now to see who's got the gas cans up on the pit wall.
Glenn, tell us again what Ray Evernham said as far as their fuel window. Whether we want to believe him or not. What did he say?
Well, they're within 5 laps, Eli, and they told Jeff on the radio a while ago that they would come in for a splash and go. The only problem is they didn't say when. It might be after he takes the checkered flag and he gets the victory lane. I still think that Jeff Gordon can make it. I may be wrong.
Well, that's why we're here together to watch it on TNN Motorsports.
There goes that hand out the window again.
Dave Marcus saying, you go this way, I'll go that way.
That's great. Hand out the window at 140 miles an hour, telling him, go ahead, pass me on the bottom, I'll let you go.
And another thing good for Gordon is part of that obstruction on the grill has blown off. off of that car, so he's got to open grill again.
Lap 387, Kevin LePage is in for his stop. And Kevin not on the lead lap, but nevertheless unable to make it the distance. He's running 26th, 7 laps down.
You know, I was trying to look at the computer and see if maybe Jeff Gordon was backpedaling a little bit, trying to save fuel, but the last lap he ran 142 miles an hour. Jarrett 139.
There's Gordon.
Think about the price that Mark Martin has paid for that pit stop where they didn't get all the lugs on the right front end, where he might be at this moment without that stop.
Even with that quick stop, he'll be a couple of laps, almost a couple laps back. 1 3/4 or so. He'll drop him to 8th place. Well, let's see. Jeff Gordon's going to come in for a splash. He's waving. See him?
Yep.
You saw him waving through the windshield. He is
put his hand up.
coming in. So Gordon is coming in. Ray Evernham speaketh the truth. They cannot go the distance.
Oh, smoking the tires, trying to get down to 35 miles an hour. That's the pit road speed that they have to get down to.
That gives Dale Jarrett the lead, lap 392. Glenn Jarrett's waiting.
And you're right, Eli. Ray Evernham is an honest man. He told the absolute truth. They did come up just a few laps short. Obviously, this will be gas and go only, nothing else. No windshield, no grill clean, just enough gas to get him home for these final 7, 8 laps.
Now, what's the status of Dale Jarrett? Steve Burns, what are you hearing? They were in 103 laps from the finish.
Well, Eli, I talked to the gas guys after they were doing their calculations on fuel mileage, and I asked them if they could go all the way, and he said, we can, but just barely, so it might be close on the 88 as well.
7 miles to go. Now as they cross the stripe with 6 to go. How about Jeff Burton? If Jarrett can't go, what's the status on Burton? Let's get an update. Now Gordon is in 3rd after that splash and go. He came back out in 3rd. Remember, he had like a 20-something second lead on 4th place. So he's in 3rd, particularly since this track was concreted. Matter of fact, we showed you his numbers way back around 11:45 this morning on our pre-race show. And he just has not had good success here at the Monster Mile of late. He's never won here. There's Gordon right there. But Jarrett being bypassed now by others. Well, Jeff Gordon led 375 of the 400 laps, but he is not in the money store winner's circle. Who would have thought that that guy wouldn't have been? I mean, Jeff Gordon led 375 of 400 laps. He didn't lead 25 laps. And, Steve, he just is not in victory lane.
And he's hot right now, just trying to get some fluids in his body. Jeff, what a tremendous race you ran.
Man, that's a great run. Great race car, great race team today. And that's a tough way to finish 3rd, I can tell you that. But, you know, hey, that's the way life works, you know. You just go out there and you run as hard as you can and get what you can get. And we're happy with a 3rd. You know, when they dropped the green flag, you asked me if I was going to finish 3rd. I said, hey, that'd be good, a great day. But, you know, as dominant as the car was, it just wanted to get out there in front and lead. And, you know, it just kept getting better and better and better the older the tires got. And I got to commend Goodyear for a great tire. They brought a great tire, and our car really adapted well to it. But great race for the DuPont Automotive Finish, Chevrolet, and this whole team, and we're real proud of it.
Jeff, how disappointing is it, as great as you guys were, great in the pits all day long, to have to come down that pit road just 25 laps from the finish?
Well, it didn't bother me too much until I realized that the other 2 guys didn't have to come down pit road. I really thought if we were coming with 10 to go or however many it was, that everybody was going to have to come. And, you know, it was pretty disappointing when I looked at my mirror and I realized, and I came on the radio and said, those guys aren't going to have to stop, are they? And, you know, that was frustrating because we had such a great car and we did all we could do to get to victory lane. But that doesn't always mean you're going to get there.
All right, great run. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.